Fit 10 Nation, it is day 70, the final day of the challenge, officially speaking. Day 70, we are on the last official day. A lot of you still have not booked your scan with me. We're running them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. If you can't come in early in the morning, I did send out the link, by the way. I'll send it out again. If you can't come in, then let me know and we will rebook you, okay? A number of you have done that. All right, again, I'm still missing maybe 10 people. All right, so I need you guys to book your scans, all right? I'm missing about a quarter of you. So book your scans with me as soon as possible. This is the last day. Okay, let's get right into questions here, okay? This person says, I've been curious about Coast Cricket protein. Do you have any experience with it? Short answer on this is no. I have no experience with insect protein. I've eaten bugs and tarantulas in the past, so it doesn't bother me, and the amino acid profile looks interesting. Yeah, I've heard the amino acid profile is pretty good. Listen, it says, when you say more nuclei gets built up from lifting, I know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. When I think of nuclei, I think of cells. So do you mean lifting increases the quantity of muscle cells or increases the size of existing cells? If that's the case, what happens to nuclei when you stop lifting? Does it convert to, say, fat? All right, so when I'm talking about nuclei are added to the muscle, the nuclei are actually added to the muscle cell. So I believe muscle cells are actually the biggest cells in the mammalian body. So I think I have to double check on that. But because they're so big, they are multi-nucleated. Even if you don't weight train, they have multiple nuclei. And of course, nuclei is obviously responsible for one of its tasks is to basically keep the cell alive, or to help keep the cell alive. And you've already got multiple of those in the muscle cell. Now, what happens when you train over time is, I think it works something like stem cells fuse with the muscle cells and increase the cell size, and also there is, I don't know how this happens exactly, but more nuclei get added to the cell or develop in the cell, in the muscle cell. So you got multiple nuclei in the muscle cell. As you weight train, more nuclei get added, especially as the cell gets bigger. The muscle fiber cell gets bigger, and as far as I know, through time, those do not go away. So the nuclei stay in there. Okay. Let's see if I answer all your questions here. If that's the case, what happens to nuclei when we stop lifting? Yeah, they stay there. No, it does not get converted to fat. The nuclei just stay in the muscle cell. But this is a good question because the cell is going to shrink if you stop training, but the nuclei stays, which is really interesting. So I think probably the nuclei shrink themselves, but they're still there. Now it's possible, I don't know how long they've looked at these muscle cells for, so it's possible, like let's say you didn't train for like 20 years, that you're going to lose some of that nuclei. I would suspect that will happen. But I do know that at least for an extended period of time, like I think for several years, the nuclei just sticks around, okay? You added some stuff in here with some links, which I will not mention because you guys can't see the links. But thank you for this. So I'm going to take a look at some of this stuff. It looks very, very useful. Some stuff about kiwis. And what else here? Kale bitterness and how to cut limes to get the most juice out of them. Okay, interesting. Thank you very much for this, by the way. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about what to do after the challenge. Yesterday I mentioned that, if you didn't lose 20% of your fat mass, then I want you to basically go back to week number 5 in the challenge, redo the last 5 weeks, and draw and space it out more. So in between each, in between weeks 5 and 6, give 2 to 3 weeks, give 3 weeks. Okay, and just really run it out. So you're gonna get 5 times 3, 15 weeks basically, okay? So you got a 15-week program in terms of macros to follow through. And that's what I would do if you did not lose 20%. If you lost 20% more of if you've lost 20% of your fat mass or more, then I want you to reverse diet backwards. So that means you go from, week 10 macros, do those for another week or two. Then go to week 9, follow those macros for 3 weeks, and go to week 8, follow those for 3 weeks. Now, if you start to gain some fat, if you feel like you're gaining fat, not weight, fat, so you may not know, but we can talk about this, or we could do another scan or whatnot. Then maybe we want to just slow things down, but you shouldn't, okay? So long as you keep your training up and your cardio up, then you shouldn't, okay? Now, for your cardio, I'd recommend staying at the intensity that I have right now for you. But every 5th session, I would just do like steady state, okay? So just do your lower heart rate range and just stick with that, okay? All right, so that's for the next foreseeable future. Now, for those of you that are interested, I am going to be running a macro management program. I know I've talked about this before, and I did do it for a little bit, but now I'm gonna run one. It's going to be a little bit more, slightly more sophisticated, a little bit more along the lines of the Fit in 10. So I'm going to offer a little bit more service. But in addition to this, I'm also working on some other challenges that are going to be built around the Fit in 10, so people have a place to go to when they finish Fit in 10, okay? So I'm going to open up some other programs. But if you're interested in the macro management program, let me know. Email me and let me know, and we can continue you on with that, okay? All right, so where am I at here? 6 minutes. All right. Guys, your last day. So listen, I want to really remind you of something. This is very, very important. So I want you to make time for yourself. I want you to invest energy into yourself. I want you to take care of yourself. All right, I want you to nurture yourself. I want you to surround yourself with individuals that uplift you. All right, and most importantly, I want you to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe you can do something, then you're not going to do it, okay? But the reality is that we believe that we are capable of performing about 1% of actually what we're capable of. And now, actually, I'm going to argue for less than 1%, okay? Certainly, what you believe you are capable of, you are certainly capable of much, 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 and I could add many more muches to that. You are all capable of it. Okay? The biggest limiting factor is our minds. I dealt with this. I still deal with it. I have no problem admitting that. Really dealt with it like to a pretty extreme extent, actually, earlier in my life. And there's several reasons for it, I can imagine. But, leaving that all aside, I had to really work towards that, and it just took time, right? It takes time and patience. And you got to really, really work towards believing yourself, because you should. You should. And it's just more, success in life, whatever you're trying to work towards, is just more about, strategizing, planning, and then doing the work. And then just being consistent with that. And that's all it is. And it just takes time and patience. Okay, now you have to obviously reevaluate, and sometimes you make mistakes, and that's all normal. Mistakes should be expected. Especially the more, the more you sort of move along your path of success, if you want to call it, or closer to your goal, you're going to encounter what you might consider to be failures, and that's just normal. That is just the way it is, and that's normal, okay? So when it comes to your diet and your exercise or whatever, I want to remind you about consistency. I want to remind you about being reasonable and being persistent, okay? So consistency, a good level of reasonableness, and of course, persistency. All right, don't give up. It has to be manageable. It has to be lifestyle based. Okay, it has to be lifestyle driven. Okay, so believe in yourself, and you will be unstoppable. Okay, and whatever you want to do. Day 70, final day of the challenge, you guys. I wanted to say one more thing to you. It takes a lot of courage to do this, and I'm not just saying that, it really does. This is my area of comfort, okay? So this is my biggest area of comfort. This is what I, believe I'm meant to do. I mean, it's beyond believing. It's just, I know it's what I'm supposed to do. I've been doing it for so long, and it's just who I am. So it's easy for me, is my point. It's very easy, okay? This is for you guys, a lot of you completely new. And so, kudos to you, because I know how hard doing something new and out of your comfort zone can be. So kudos to you guys. If you want to sit down with me at any point and discuss anything related to this, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to, okay? Myself, Martin. More than happy to, okay? All right, you guys. So I'm gonna close it out there. We've got a class tomorrow at 10:15. We have a finale next week at 10:30. So next Saturday, March 30th, we have our finale. Okay, we're going to be giving away swag to everybody. We're going to be announcing stats and of course, the winner of the challenge and all kinds of cool stuff. All right, so please come on out for that. All right, day 70, last day of the challenge, you guys. You guys did fantastic. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you soon. Come on out to class tomorrow, 10:15. And like I said, if you're stuck or whatnot, you come see us. Just contact us. Okay? All right? And don't forget, we have a macro management program too if you're interested. Okay? So let me know. I'll talk about this during the finale as well. All right? We'll talk to you guys all soon. I'm proud of you. Kudos to you for having the courage for doing this. We'll talk to you guys soon. Just having this problem.